Hi everyone, we're going to talk about if shapes in Flowgorithm today. An if shape is used to make a decision based on one or more conditions. For example, if you're going to make a decision based on one condition, like if it is raining, you're trying to make the decision if you're going to take the umbrella or not. Your condition is what you need to check is it raining or not, right? If it is raining, true condition, then take an umbrella with you while leaving the house. Otherwise, if it is not raining, the false condition, there's no need to take an umbrella with you. Okay, let's code this in Flowgorithm as an example. So I'm gonna ask the user if it is raining or not, and based on the answer, we're gonna make the decision, take an umbrella or not. Okay, so to ask the user, first I'm gonna print a message on the screen. Is it raining now? Okay, and then I'm sorry, I forgot to close the double quotes. Okay, and then we're gonna get the information, that the answer from the keyboard from the user. The user will type through the keyboard, obviously. I'm gonna use an input, but for input, as you remember, we need to have a variable. Let's call this a variable answer, and the user is supposed to type yes or no. Okay, yes and no, those are strings, those are words, so it's gonna be a string. Oh, by the way, we need to tell the user as a hint, type yes or no, all small letters, and then read it from the keyboard. Read the answer from the keyboard, okay? And put the answer, the response from the user into the variable answer, okay? Now we have the answer from the user, if it is raining or not, and then based on the answer, we're gonna make a decision. That is why we're gonna use the if shape, and it's under control group, if shape. Okay, now our condition here in this example, I put it in parentheses. If the condition is true, then do this. Otherwise, if the condition is false, do that. Okay, I'm sorry. So our condition is if the answer is yes. If the answer is yes, I mean the condition is true. In this case, we're gonna say take an umbrella. Umbrella with you while leaving. Okay, as a message. Remember that in your program, in your application, you will do something else, but you know, since this is a very short and simple example, I'm just gonna use an output message to show you if I'm able to make a decision by using if. Anyways, if the answer is no, or anything other than yes, actually, if but we're gonna stick with yes and no. So if the answer is no, in other words, if the condition is false, in this case, we're gonna say no need to take an umbrella with you. So that will be the message. So here how it works. The user will we will ask the user if it is raining right now, and the user will say yes or no. If the user says yes, that's a true condition for us, and we will say output, we will say take an umbrella with you, otherwise no need to take an umbrella. Okay, let's run and see how it works. Is it raining now? Yes or no? I'm gonna say yes first. It says take an umbrella with you while leaving. So the application was able to make the decision based on my answer. If I run it again, if I say no, it's not raining right now, then it will say no need to take an umbrella. As you see here, Depending on the answer, it goes this way to the right or that way to the left. So that's how if statements are working. Let's do another example, a couple of examples actually. I'm just going to say this as if shape 1, example 1, okay, and then immediately create another one, new. And if you're hungry, take a break and eat something. If you're not hungry, no need to eat, just relax. Okay, so for that, again, I need to print a message for the user. Are you hungry? And then I'm gonna read it from the keyboards. For that, I need a declaration, a variable to save it, the answer. Let's use the same thing, answer. Again, yes or no. Let's use yes and no. Okay, and then here we're gonna use an input to read the response from the keyboard and save it into the answer. Okay, and then here's my decision making if statement, and I'm gonna say if the person is hungry, he or she will say yes. In this case, just say take a break and eat something. All right, take a break and eat something. Okay, and then otherwise, if the person is not hungry, there's no need to eat anything. Okay, no need to eat. Okay, it's gonna do the same thing based on one single condition. If the condition is true, we do something. If it is false, we do something else. Okay, run it. Are you hungry? Yes. Take a break and eat something. Are you hungry? No, I'm not. Then no need to eat anything. Okay, so you could do the same with these examples. If you're 18 years old, you can vote. If you're not 18 years old, all right, sorry, you will have to wait until you're 18. But there's something wrong with this logic here. You might be older than 18 years old. So we're gonna see in the next example, if you're 18 and older, I'm sorry, or older, you might be 18 years old, or you might be older than 18 years old, then only then you can vote. If you're younger than 18, then you cannot, right? We will see that example. If you have an exam this week, you're gonna need to study the material and get prepared. If you don't have an exam this week, just do the assignments or relax. Now, let's talk about two conditions. If you need to meet two conditions at the same time, then you can actually use if statements in two ways. Either you can use two if statements connected to each other, or you can use an operator, and operator, which we will do actually. So I'm going to actually show you the both cases, meaning that you can use the operator and, or you can use two if statements. Let me save this one first. If I can, if shape example 2, okay, and then create a new one. We're gonna implement this algorithm or this situation condition in the example. So we need to get two informations, two data from the user. Are you 18 years old? Are you registered? Okay. First, I'm gonna type the message, the question for the user. Are you 18 years old? Years old. Okay. And then let's put it into the answer 1 as a string, because the user will say yes or no, right? And then read it from the keyboard and save it into the answer 1. Remember that with the input shape, we need a variable as a requirement. And once I got the answer 1, the computer will be able to remember what the user has said, because we're going to use it later on what's stored in answer 1. Now ask the second question, which is, are you registered? And that's another question. And then we're gonna use an input statement for that, but I need a variable for it. Let's call it registration. And that will be another yes or no answer from the user. And then read it from the keyboard. The user will type through the keyboard and then save it in the registration variable. Okay, registration variable. Okay. Now I got my answer 1. You know what? Actually, not registration, but maybe I should just do answer 2, because that will make our condition 1 and condition 2, answer 1, answer 2, so that make more sense probably. And now we're gonna check both of them at the same time with an operator and operator. Okay, so we're gonna do this. If answer 1 is yes, because it's a string, we had to put it in double quotations here, as we did previously, and answer 2 is also yes, I had to meet both of the conditions, right? If that is the case, only then you can vote. The message will be yes, you can vote. Okay, and if any of them is wrong, in other words, maybe you're not 18 years old, or maybe you're not registered, then sorry, you cannot vote. Either you are not 18 years old, or you did not register. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so here I'm checking 2 conditions, and depending on the answer from the user, I will say yes, you can vote, or you cannot vote. Let's run it and see what happens. Are you 18 years old? Say yes. First test. Are you registered? Yes. Yes, you can vote. Suppose that I am not 18 years old, but somehow I got registered, but I still can't vote because I'm not 18 years old. And suppose that I am, yes, 18 years old, but I did not register. No. In this case, again, I cannot vote because I'm not registered. Even though I was 18 years old, I cannot register. I cannot vote. Okay. So the other example I'm gonna give you here, we say you are 18 years old and registered, and as you remember, this actually is not quite right. 18 years old, maybe you're older than 18 years old, right? So we could say 18 years old or older than 18 years old. 18. So what the way we can actually change this if statement, instead of asking the user, are you 18 years old, we could just say, how old are you? Okay, and if you do that, the answer 1 will be not a string anymore. It's gonna, well, you know what, actually I think we should create a new one for that. Is there, okay, so let me save this. Before I save it, I'm gonna make sure that, are you 18 years old? Yes. I registered? Yes. And then it, okay, so I'm gonna save this and then save it as example 3 and then create a new one. So Now I'm gonna ask the user, how old are you? How old are you? And based on that answer, I'm gonna figure out if the person is 18 years old or not. Okay, that's gonna be another example, and then I will read that and save it into the variable age, which is an integer value. Okay, and then read the value from the keyboard and save it into the age variable. Now I got the value for the age, and what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put an if statement and see what I will do. If age is equal to 18 or age is larger than 18, then I'm gonna set another variable here saying that a boolean age valid boolean value to make it true or false. You'll see that it's gonna help us to make the decision about the age. Okay, if the person is 18 years old or older than 18, then the age valid value will be true. Otherwise, age valid value will be false. Okay, wait for it, and I'll tell you how it's gonna work. I'll show you how it's gonna work. And for the register, we're gonna now ask the question, are you registered? And then in this case, the answer will be a yes or no. Register, the answer will be a yes or no. That means a string. Okay, and then obviously, actually, we should say yes or no. We accept only those answers. And now, since I got the age valid true or false, depending on the answer, 18 or older than 18, and also registered or not, we're gonna make the decision right here. We will say age valid is true, okay, or registered is yes. In this case, we are going to say you can vote, and otherwise you can't. Sorry, either you are younger than 18 or not registered. You cannot vote. Okay, and click override and see what happens. Run it. How old are you? Suppose that I am 18 years old. And, oh, okay, registered was not initialized. So we're gonna check that. There's a bug here. It says variable is not, yeah, we forgot to get the input from the user, right? So it's gonna be register, saved into registered, run again. And how old are you? 18. Are you registered? Yes or no? Yes, I'm registered. Yes, you can vote. Okay, now I'm gonna say I am 20 years old and I am yet registered. Yes, you can vote. Now I'm gonna say I am 8 years old and I am registered somehow. Oh, you say it's still you can vote. Okay, hold on 1 second. If I am 8 years old and I'm not registered, no, you cannot vote. So here age value is true. We need to fix the problem one more time. I'm gonna run it. If I am 8 years old and if I am registered, I should not be able to vote. Oh, okay, so here actually it's not an or. I have to, you see that I have to be, I forgot about this and. I have to be 18 years old or older, and also I need to be registered, so it's gonna be an and. Now it should work. How old are you? 8 years old, and somehow I'm registered. I'm not supposed to vote here. Okay, so either you are younger than 18 or not registered. So let's check. You see that testing is always good to catch the bugs. You may make mistakes, it's okay, but you cannot leave it like that. You have to fix the problems, okay? Sometimes you're gonna make some typo errors, sometimes logical errors. I just did. So 18 years old, registered. You had to test all the possible inputs, by the way. Are you and I'm 18 and registered. I can vote. I'm 18 but not registered. I can't vote. True. I'm 40 and registered. I can vote. I'm 40 and not registered. I can't. And I am 8 years old, or I don't know, 9 years old and registered. Somehow I cannot vote. If I'm 9 years old and I'm not registered normally, obviously, I cannot vote. So this is how you can actually use the AND operator to, if you need both conditions to be true. And here, another example with the AND, if you have, suppose that you want to buy a shoe that you like in a store, and only if you have enough money and also the store has your size, you can actually buy that shoe and enjoy it. Okay, another example is actually we just did two conditions you have, but either of them is okay to make the decision. For example, suppose that you need at least 85 to pass a course. That means you may have 85, you can pass, or you have higher than 85, you can still pass because it's high. All right, high enough. So let me save this one example and then do this one. Okay, this is example 4, and then new. Okay, and then I'm gonna ask, what is your grade? Okay, and that grade can be an integer or real number, but I'm gonna make it easy. An integer value, let's say grade, and then read it from the keyboard and save it into the grade variable. So now I had the grade from the student. Now I'm gonna check against these two possible situations. Actually, the grade can be equal to 85, grade can be larger than 85, and grade actually can be smaller than 85. There are always three possibilities for the values like that, right? So what I will do, I will be okay if if I got 85 or higher, but I will fail if I got less than 85. So what I will do here, I'm gonna put my if statements here and then say if grade is equal to 85 or grade is equal to larger than 85, just like the years age example we did. In this case, I will just pass. Congratulations, you passed the exam or the course. Okay, and then otherwise, that is the third possibility. You didn't get 85, or you didn't get anything higher than 85. That means you got less than 85, which was the requirement to pass, getting 85 or higher. So in this case, sorry, you received less than 85. Okay, you cannot pass. So let's test this. And what's your grade? Suppose that I got 85. Congratulations, you passed. Let's say I got 84. In this case, I should fail. Sorry, you see. And if I have, for example, 90, I should pass because it's high. If I have 100, obviously I'm gonna pass because it's higher than 85. Okay, let me say this one too is an example. Example 5 here. Okay, so another situation would be for either of the conditions would be just enough to do something to make the true decision. Is suppose that you are trying to pay for something you bought in a store. You can either pay with cash or you can pay with your credit card. But if you don't have any of these, if you cannot pay, then you're not gonna buy it. You're not gonna be able to buy it, right? So let's do that one too. And a new example. Okay. So in this case, how do I ask the user if you have cash? Let's say, do you have enough cash to pay it for it? This is gonna be a yes or no, so I'm gonna save it into answer 1. Okay, answer 1 declaration, and it's gonna be a yes or no answer. That's why it's gonna be a string. And then the second question, do you have a credit card? And assuming that you got enough money in the credit card. All right, and then the answer will be saved in the answer 2. I know we need to input stuff, right? So here I need to input the first answer into the answer 1, and then second one into the answer 2. Okay, so answer 2. Now you're asking the question and saving the answer into a declaration. I had to make the declaration before the input statements. You know that it has to be ready to store the value in it. The user enters from the keyboard a value and it goes into the answer 1, and same goes for the credit card. So what I'm looking for, either cash or credit card, right? So it's gonna be an or statement inside the if. So I say answer 1, either answer 1 has to be yes, or answer 2 has to be yes. Okay, if any of them is a yes, then you can actually pay for it. You can use cash or credit card. That's great. You can now actually buy the stuff that you're trying to buy, right? And otherwise, assuming that you don't have any other payment methods, sorry, you can't pay for it at the moment. Come later. I mean, that's not the end of the world, right? So let's run and see. Do you have enough cash to pay for it? Let's say you have cash, and you also have credit money in your credit card. And do you have a credit card? And both of them are true conditions, then you can use cash or credit card. That's great. Okay, so you will be able to buy it. Do you have cash? No, I don't have cash, but I do have credit card and enough money in it. Then you can use. And do you have cash? No, I don't have credit cards. No, sorry, cannot pay for it at the moment. Okay, so this is how we can actually change the direction of the application, right? If both either of the answers are yes, then you can run a lot of codes on the right hand side. And if the answer is for both of them no, in this case you can run many codes or call functions, etc., on the left hand side. So basically you're branching your application. So that's all about if statements. If statements are used to make decisions based on one or more conditions. Okay, and let me save this example for you and as the last one. And thanks for watching.